Hello everybody, I'm Richard Gon of Work to Live podcast version. This time I could pronounce hello everybody really well, which is why somebody praised me. I'm sorry, I'm joking. This is an extra talk, but actually this extra talk isn't necessary this time anyway. Let me introduce the title of this episode. This time the title is have you learned the fear of wars? I'm going to tell you again. Have you learned the fear of wars? Which is the title of this episode. The title was ended with question anyway. So the conc- before telling you the details of this episode, let me also tell you the conclusion of this episode. The conclusion this time is human beings have strenuously tried to prevent wars, but they or we failed. Can you surely say you have learned the fear of wars well enough? I'm going to this time the conclusion is quite long. So the conclusion is human beings have strenuously tried to prevent wars, but they or we failed. Can you surely say you have learned the fear of wars well enough? Anyway, so I said but they or we failed, and I I put or we into the parentheses, which is why so you can take a look at the description column of this episode so that you can confirm the conclusion is written there, which is why you can understand the conclusion by reading that. So I'm a native speaker of English language, which might be one of the causes of many wars in the course of the history, because there are people are different to each other, which is why people are different to each other, which is why people have each your own value, or each person has each your own value, which is why sometimes people have quarrels, or sometimes people have fighting. So which is why there are many wars. There have been many wars in the course of human history. And anyway, so human beings are in such a situation, and this time I'm going to talk about wars. And why I began to talk about wars is why not why I began to talk about wars, but why not why we but I only I was asking this question, and why I began to why I posed this question, or why I began to ask this question is, and the question is, have you learned the fear of wars? Have you learned the fear of wars? And that is because I'm recording this episode not in on April in 2022, in which the war taking place between Ukraine and Russia has been prolonged. The war between Russia and Ukraine has lasted still in this present time, which is why maybe there was a conference, there was something like conference or stuff like that, which war may end it, or war may be proceeded in the future, or for some time. Such a things can be decided in such a thing. Maybe such a thing could be decided in the latest conference. And anyway, so there was a conference. So anyway, so I don't care of the contents of that conference, because maybe the progress must be really slow. This is a problem. This is really a huge problem involving many nations and many countries, which is why such diplomatic problems need slow progresses, which is why things do not go really fast. Anyway, so which is partly related to this episode. And so wars. So like which we are in a situation in which we can we can confirm, or we can directly watch the scenes of wars, or the what we can, anyway, we can watch TVs, or we can watch internet or online news, through which we can directly watch the scenes of war places, the scenes of the places where wars happened, or where many fightings happened, or where many fightings took place. Took place. We are in such a such an era, or such an era, which is why we can directly watch really brutal, or really shocking, or really bloody scenes in Ukraine. So I shouldn't tell you this, but we should in such a way, we should say thank you to Russian government, or the Russian government, or President Putin, which is because we can directly watch the scenes of wars, or warring places. So there was according to a news, or according to the broadcast in my country, there are hundreds of there are many there are maybe hundreds of civilian people who are killed, but who are killed in the wars, in the war. And anyway, so of course there are more people who are killed, or who had been killed in the series of wars between Ukraine and Russia, and maybe dozens of thousands of people were killed in each side, and those sides are Russia and Ukraine. Anyway, so that war is such a situation. So which is why so not literally speaking. So realistically speaking, we have witnessed the scenes of wars, and we have experienced the era of wars, era of wars, directly, not directly, so through online information. And we have already realized that what is going to happen. We have realized, so what would happen, not what would happen. So what happens in warring situations, or in the time of war, which is what I have experienced. Even though you live in a place far away from Ukraine and Russia. Anyway, so my country, I live in an East Asian developed country, which borders Russia, actually. So I giving you some hints, or giving you some elements for identifying which country I live in. So my country is an insular country, next to China and Russia and South Korea. So, and my country is categorized into a developed country, and my mother tongue, in the case of my mother tongue, verb comes to the last of a sentence, of a whole sentence. Anyway, so please speculate which country I live in. Anyway, so, and coming back to the original title of this episode, so have you learned the fear of wars? So of course, I at least I haven't felt any fear caused by wars, because I have never experienced, I have never been to the places where wars had been taking place. So which is why, so I haven't participated. So which is why I haven't. The answer can be no. The answer can be no. But I could get a lot of pieces of information related to that war, which is why in such a sense, in such a way. So I have fully realized that wars are really bad for really bad even for people in the countries which are not related to, which are not directly involved into the war. Anyway, so I think I have fully learned how bad wars are. So anyway, but here's the thing. So I'd like you to remember. I'd like you to remember the First World War. Maybe most of you have not experienced the First World War. And please remember. Please no. Please remember that war. Well, the First World War has been called. Had been called the war to end all wars. That I don't know whether that is a nickname for World War I was the First World War, but actually the First World War had been called the war to end all wars, which had which means the First World War had been really deadly fighting among many huge nations, but human beings began the Second World War. The First World War wasn't really entertaining, which is why maybe human beings wanted to start the Second World War, which is what human beings have repeated in the course of the history of mankind. Anyway, so and in this present time, so President Putin or Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin began or provoked another not another war, a war against Ukraine, which is why so some people say that is a how should I say that can be a cause, or that war between Ukraine and Russia may instigate or provoke or cue the Third World War. Some people say stuff like that, but I don't think I don't think the Third World War is going to happen. Anyway, so I'm in such a way. So I have really optimistic perspective for the course of human history. Anyway, but so that is because I think I have fully learned, or I have fully noticed or studied, or how should I say, and I can't find out any other words for suitable for explaining the situation. And which is why I used the verb learn, studied, and noticed, and realized. I have fully realized. I have realized how dangerous wars are. And but actually, so but unfortunately, maybe there are some people who have not realized how dangerous and how bad wars are for our lives. Which is why I posed this question. And how you have you learned the fear of wars, or fully enough should have been added to the title, and I'm not going to add fully enough to the title anyway. So, which is why I'm recording this episode. So human beings, and let me repeat the conclusion. And the conclusion is human beings have strenuously tried to prevent wars, but they or we failed. Can you surely say you have learned the fear of wars well enough? So I'm so I have been thinking of how to end this episode, because so I don't think the World War is not going. I don't think the Third World War is going to happen. I think the Third World War is not going to happen. So, but actually, I might be the perspective I have might be too optimistic, because there must be some people who are thinking, or who think the Third World War is going to happen in the near future, which is why. But actually, I think it's possible to prevent the occurrence or the provocation of the Third World War, because the Third World War must be really destructive enough for the Earth. For the Earth, which is when thinking about the durability of the Earth, I don't think human beings are foolish enough to provoke the Third World War, which may involve which may involve the usages or the use of nuclear weapons. So I'm going to end this part, and in this part I'm going to end this episode in this part. So I have told you, I have told you enough, which is why. So if you'd like to listen to the conclusion and the title, so please go back to, please, please go back by for some minutes, so that you can listen to the conclusion and the title I have told you minutes before. So that's it. Thank you very much for your listening. See you.